Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes though. She like, ooh la la, they go. Ooh la la, she like, ooh la la, they go. Ooh la la, okay. Ooh la la, she like, ooh la la, they go. Ooh la la, she like, ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, the question is, where you been? Over here on this side, we deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes when people don't be acting flaky, Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. So before you leave the page, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash that notification bell so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, good looking, but you know how I do. You know how I plainly start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. That's the good tea right there. And we is in the end game, people. And we in the end game because just like that, it's opening night in the NBA. Like all ballers, all players come out to play. All the ballers and all of them, I mean, the superstars and all of they come out to play. And it just seems like last year we seen Golden State, you know what I mean, get their 4th ring and beat the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics and Golden State playing tonight. They're not playing each other. You got Boston hosting Philly, and you got Golden State on ring night. Like your wrist bling bling, my shit bling blah. They're gonna get the 4th one tonight, and they're playing against the Lakers. Like LeBron, 20th year, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. He's back. He's healthy. He's gonna answer and silence all the critics. Maybe. We hope. We would love to see that, because when he's healthy and he's playing like we know he can play, like we've seen him play. He's one of the best players, top 5, dead or alive, and that's just all. I'm just playing. But we know that he get busy. The thing is, can he stay healthy? A lot of storylines. Draymond Green, you know what I mean? Duff, you know what I mean? The young boy. And let's just say this here real quick, too, before we get more into open tonight. Predictions, who gonna win, because that's your money, son. Game about to kick off now. It's actually 7:30 now. Game start. With Draymond, right? And him and what's the young boy name? Can't think of his name. Jordan Poole. It's alleged that he said some wild, crazy, like off the cuff shit. Not justifying you getting duffed out, but you know, you gotta watch what you say. You know what I mean? And if you say certain things to certain people, you gotta be ready for the retaliation, possibly. You know what I mean? We jokingly play when it comes to the women and how they just say whatever they want, because on the back end, it's really for a lot of women, not all, obviously. There's no threat of nothing really happening to them. And if it is, they're going to call a law, et cetera, et cetera. I'm talking about the exchange with a man. On the other hand, when men is dealing with other men, especially what type of environment you in, you know what I mean? You know, certain places rough, testosterone, you know what I mean? Like it's spilling all over the place. Challenge, you got to prove and show the world that you're a young lion and you tough. You know it could be an altercation. You know you could get your head flown, like, you know what I mean? They could roof your dice. You know that can happen. So you either approach with caution or you approach with respect, right? So that nothing don't happen. And it's sad, you know, he like, yo, you know, what the fuck your name on Twitter, your Twitter handle was Money Green, you know what I mean? Because next year you're going to be in Sacramento, Brokington, like almost foreshadowing like they might pay me and you out of here. And you know what I'm going to say next, right? Do you ever think about when you out of here. Your record deal, NBA career, all that shit out of here. You know, whether they playing or not, you know, he took it wrongly. That's allegedly, maybe, kind of, sort of. Let's get also back to opening night. Is they going to be able to get past it? Is they going to win tonight? Let me tell you who's going to win tonight. The spread, Boston is at home, favored by 1. A lot of new players in different places this year, so it should be fun, you know what I mean? Definitely could get some chicken dinners off the NBA. Let me see. All right, so, yeah, Boston at home, they giving up 3. They got Malcolm Brogdon, formerly of Indiana. I'm not sure where he was traded to after that. Rookie of the year a few years ago on a playoff team. Versatile, could shoot the 3, got handles. I think he definitely going to be a playmaker for Boston. They still pretty much got the same team intact. Philly, on the other hand, this would be James Harden, their beard. First, you know, full training camp with Joel Embiid. They had like a little special and shit too on ESPN showing like the actual practice. I thought it was interesting because you never really get to see, you know, them walk through in practice. So to see him, you know, how they conduct their business. So sort of like a Hard Knock Life. But anyway, they added PJ Tucker, some girth, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, a hard body, you know what I mean, to come in and do all the dirty work. They also added my other guy, Montrezl Harrell. And he had the situation with the Buddington and a whole lot of funny situation. That's why I seen they was interviewing him at the end of one preseason game, and you know, they was asking him how enthused he is to be on Philadelphia and the 76ers now. Woo, 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 And he just was like, you could tell, you know what I mean? You definitely could hear when he just was like, I'm just happy to be here, you know what I mean? Happy to be playing, happy to be a part of, back to being privileged, and in the elite, you know, group of men that is the association that he's, you know, fortunate to be a part of. Because they almost was trying to put his lights out or get him really caught up in transporting or whatever it was. I'm saying, damn, NBA players, athletes, entertainers always seem to find themselves in, you know, precarious situations. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? But now who gonna win? Also, Ime Aduku and Duque, you know what I mean? And you get, you know, with the whole Nia Long, I did a video on that. Go see the other video that I did on it. And, you know, come to find out it was the El Presidente and all that, or the Vice, the VP, Washington, maybe, smashing, a whole lot of crazy shit coming up out of there. You know, the youngest coach, you know, going to be coaching tonight. I think Boston win tonight. I think Boston win. I think Philly probably finish with a better record than Boston. I think they got better pieces. Maxey, who I first highlighted in his first rookie year, you know what I mean? That boy got game, definitely got hard. He got the dog in him. Like, it's nothing but the dog in me, and he got that. He gonna get better, hard, and you know what I mean? They still got Tobias, they still got Doc, and they got the you know, they even though they got rid of Ben Simmons, they added that back with PJ Tucker and Harrell, as far as, you know, having strength up front, and then obviously with Joel Embiid, he's unstoppable. Might be the MVP this year, but I think Boston win tonight. I think overall Philly finish higher in the standings. Next game, Golden State Warriors. The spread was 6.5. Now that shit is 7.5, making me look with the side eye. You know what I mean? Everybody taking Golden State, so it's like we got to give more points to the Lakers to show and prove. You know what I mean? That so people to take the Lakers. Anthony Davis talking real greasy on them R&B records, saying, yo, we want to play spoiler, and tomorrow night too, I think they play the Clippers at the Staples Center, which is, you know, they both share the same arena. Kawhi Leonard's back. So a lot of, you know, players is back. Jamal Murray, you know, it should be an interesting season. But as far as tonight, Russell Wilson, he got the hammy or he don't got the hammy. A lot of people taking shots at Westbrook. You know what I mean? Westbrook, and ever since motherfucking Uncle Murder came out, said what he said. You know what I mean? Like, he really don't got no jump shot. And I fuck with the Brody. Will they trade him for? Who the fuck they gonna trade him for? What's the shooter name? He on Indiana now. Buddy Hill and Miles Turner. That would be good for the Lakers. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, it's 2 for 1, and there's no downgrade on Russ. Russ is MVP of the league. Obviously led the league, triple doubles. He's definitely a Hall of Fame. You hear Patrick Beverly on your podcast. Now I mean we hear you. And obviously they teammates now, you know, they got their little, you know what I mean, history with him diving into him, hurting his knee. I think it was Achilles or whatever it was. He caused Russ some time. You know what I mean? So it's that part. And this should be real interesting. I think the drama continues. The buffoonery probably will remain at an all-time high. And I'm going to be fading the Lakers this year. I don't think their defense is going to stand up. No, they got Schroeder back. You know what I mean? What is it? Chris Nunn, he going to be there this year. Last year he was there, but he didn't play. We'll see. Lakers, I think they will make the playoffs this year, provided everybody stay healthy. I think they take that L tonight. I think Golden State win. They're going to get them rings. That crowd going to be hype as a motherfucker. Jordan Poole, them young boys, they know their roles. They know the system. Andrew Wiggins and them, they going to go off on the Lakers. I like Golden State tonight. Let's get to some other shit in the NBA. We'll talk more about the NBA later. You know what I mean? But let's talk about the NBA, and let's talk about Draymond Green again and Lisa Leslie, right? Let's talk about Lisa Leslie. And LeBron James. No, hold on. Before we do that, let's first shout out Brittany Griner. Today her birthday, 32 birthday at that. You know what I mean? It should be there. It should be there. You know what I mean? And I know what it's like to be locked up on your birthday a few times, a few years in a row. You know what I mean? No fault to nobody but my own. You know what I mean? And I know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail. Be locked up on your B-Day. One of the worst, I mean, to be locked up in general, whether you did it or not, it's a bad feeling. This is fucked up. You got to find, you know, ways, I was going to say inventive ways, but you have to find ways to combat the boredomness, the routineness, you know, the loneliness of it, just sometimes the hopelessness of it. A lot of people walk around hopeless and stressed the fuck out. So you do have to find ways to shake that shit off, still stand firm and have, you know, something to look forward to. You know, this is more so for people that's probably never getting out. If you getting out, obviously you see light at the end of the tunnel. You got a chance to come home to that feeling. Like, you know what I mean? That feeling when them gates open up and you walking out, that is a feeling. It's like hitting, I mean, CeeLo 4, 5, 6 times in a row, leave the bank dry, like, oh, $10 in it. But we gonna talk about, you know what I mean, Lisa Leslie. We want to give Brittany Griner a shout out. She had turned 32 today, and she been over there for 243 fucking days, almost a real calendar year. You know, with everything still going on, they still blowing up shit. We still giving millions and billions of dollars. You know, this shit crazy. So we wish her the best. Her family, you know, they're like, you know, her spirits is down, and, you know, we got to just try to keep her mentally engaged. So, you know, salute to her. Hopefully she get over here. Hopefully the United, you know, America could do what they could do to get her back and the other prisoners that's over there. Let's get to this shit about Lisa Leslie, though, right? First of all, salute to Lisa Leslie. One of the all-time greats, the icon in the game, champion, Olympic champion, pioneers of the game, hands down, one of the best, first to dunk. You know what I mean? And you know, I was locked when the WNBA first launched out. You know what I mean? Remember, I was on Rikers actually when Teresa Witherspoon for the New York Liberty hit the half-court shot just to get the one game, but the Rockets, not the Rockets, but Houston still won. Houston Comets, they won 3 back-to-back. But anyway, she was on LeBron James' podcast, The Barbershop. You know, his podcast is pretty dope. He always has some interesting interviews, plays on there, and just topics overall when you hear, you know, obviously the King speak on topics that's unrelated to the NBA. She was on there and they was, you know, asking her what's good about the WNBA, how it evolved, and, you know, what she think of it and what can be done more to bring more eyes and more awareness, you know, to the sport. And she said, you know, obviously the athletes are faster, they bigger, they stronger, which is true. You know? They getting better and better. The personal training and you know, the professionalism of, you know, how they do what they do, and obviously the pay has gone up, but it's not where it needs to be. But she pointed out all of the good things, and then she said, you know, I would really like to get them some more, you know, wish they can get paid more. You know, there's a big pay gap between the the NBA, WNBA, and rightfully so. The NBA been around for, I think this is the 77th year. There's only 26, so 50 years over you, 51. You the little sister, you the little bro, however you looking at it. You're not where we at, and we put our pain in. And the NBA is subsidized. The NBA, the WNBA every year. I think 10 to 15 million every year they lose or they got a fund back. But she made a comment like, maybe y'all cannot hit the casino. I said, because that's your money, son. Yeah, like that's your money. You know what I mean? Like, y'all cannot hit the casino, donate a little. You know what I mean? Because she was like, she think like 12 million for one NBA, player is like the whole WNBA salary. So I didn't know that. So I was like, oh, word. I'm not shocked and amazed when you put the beat on, though. It's like, yeah, I could see that. You know what I mean? And you see Brittany Griner, speaking of her, she was getting paid between, I believe, 200,000 to, 300,000, 325,000. And that's handsome money to do something that you love. That's great money. However, depending on where you live, your lifestyle, your habits, your needs, your wants, your entourage, I get all that part. But for most people, that's more than enough money. When you start sounding like Marquise, Jackson, and 6,700 ain't enough to live off, for the time he was talking about, looking at you with the side eye. And that's why she allegedly went over to Russia to play. Like, she'd been there a few times because they was giving her 1.5, like the purple tape, no names, serial numbers clean, say yes or no, say yes or no. 1.5, like 1.5 million, pocket that for, go bust these bitches' asses, come back with the bag. And obviously, she ain't think about when she was going to be out of here. Her WNBA career over and your lifestyle over here. All that shit out of here. Because now you over there with a 9-year sentence. But anyway, they get paid for doing something that they love. So Draymond jumped in like, yo, let me say this. We the biggest supporters. Woo, ah. And, obviously, he's right. Males, men support more than, the women. And so you hear, for the people in the back, the strong, the independents and all that, the women buy where the women go, like you're not even really supporting. And so, the thing is you got to generate the interest. You know what I mean? That got to be something that's, part of, the solution as opposed to just y'all give y'all bread. You know what I mean? You got people in the comments, like, if y'all had 500 million, I could give 10 million and add on to their salaries, and you could do that. You know what I mean? If you're a nice guy, you know what I mean? And, it's a lot more other people that probably can use that money besides the WNBA players. I mean, we are talking about, you know what I mean, an exclusive job. Everybody is not a WNBA player. Everybody's not an NBA player. So they're still part of an elite group of people that's getting paid nicely for doing something that they love and they dedicate themselves to. Let's talk about some other shit though, right? Let's talk about motherfucking Kanye West and Noriega, like what, and Drink Champs, how he went on there for a second time, seemed like within a month, maybe 2 months, like Kanye back. This nigga always spinning in the clip, like, I mean, he know how to get shit gas lit, and he know how to get, them hashtags going. And for right or wrong, I mean, obviously at this point, I mean, when you hear Kanye reference or you hear like, yo, he made the news, or you see his name trending, on social media across these social media platforms. And y'all know, I'm in these social media streets, I'm in these YouTube platforms, and they should have never, right? So he been spinning. But Nori is spinning now too, because he had a lot to say. Hold on 1 second, let me text him. Let me see what's going on. He had a lot to say, about Puff, about George Floyd, unfortunately. Let me see. Give me 20 minutes. He had a lot to say about the fentanyl, and the knee wasn't really on the neck. And then I just learned something too now. I know that we call a community the Juice Crew now. Like, you know what I mean? When I first heard, I'm reading the comments and I'm saying like Juice Crew, and you know, reading everything everybody got to say. You know, that's where you really get the meat and potatoes. That pretty much is the comments. That's the overall consensus, good or bad, mixed reviews, 50% who's think what, who's going with the mob crowd, and you know, allegedly they want to cancel Kanye, but you know, those Juice Crew committee, you know, individuals made Nori take it down, and you know, he took it down. But the thing is, like, once you press send, like Herm Edwards said, you can't really take it down. People still got clips, and I seen some of the clips. Let's speak about the, you know, the Juice Crew part. You know what I mean? And is it true? Is it not true? I think Farrakhan, like a lot of people been having shit to say about it. A lot of channels, you know, and rightfully so, because honestly it gets the conversation started. Hopefully with sincerity. You know what I mean? And not disingenuous just to be, you know, proving, you know, one person wrong, or not really to come to some type of understanding. And I'm only saying that to say some people are like, yo, you know, he's a coon. He's a fucking, I see even seeing some people say he's a supremacist, a white supremacist, dressed in black skin. And obviously you had Willie D come out, talk about his dead moms. May Allah have mercy, you know what I mean? So tacky, so distasteful. You know, and because of the White Lives Matter, him and Candace Owens and all this dumb shit. Now he back on the Drink Champs, talking about Puff, talking about George Floyd, talking about the Juice Crew, and you know how they pretty much got a stranglehold on shit. I'm like, it's not nothing that we didn't know. You know what I mean? People is mad about that though. So it's like, anytime, and this is just my opinion, my 2 cents. You know, I'm not college educated, and some people graduate, but they still stupid. They tell you read this, read that, right? Like, so you know, I respect the, you know, the degrees, you know, all of the accolades and all that shit. And if it makes sense, it makes sense. I'm gonna be like, oh nah, I fuck with it. But I don't care how many accolades and degrees you got if it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? To me, or don't have no type of logic, and I can see like, you know, the ground you standing upon is solid. It's not a little shaky, a little nervous, a little shaky. I'm gonna rock with it. I'm gonna be like, nah, just disagree. And I could be ignorance as well. Because I know I don't know everything, so it could be out of ignorance as well. But I'd rather that than to just go along just because you got accolades and, you know, your speech is eloquent and you sound articulate. Nah, fuck that. And with that being said, you know, people don't want to be told the truth or what's a large percentage of the truth. Like, yeah, we don't control shit, we don't own shit. Like for instance, when the Man's Fair is going after women's fair and the pink pill, the red pill, you know, that's a lot of the women's argument. You don't control shit, you don't own the hood, you know, people is doing this, people's doing that, you're the men, woo, and a lot of valid points. You know what I mean? And there's only but so much one man can do, but the first thing that you need to do is make sure your own household is in order. That's number one. Like, you can worry about what's going on outside, but first you have to worry about what's going on in your home first. But then your home spills out into the neighborhood with your kids, your family, you know, your loved ones have to venture out. You have to venture out. So there's no really getting around it that, yeah, you should control shit. And, you know, it goes to, you know, whether it's deep rooted in slavery, the Willie Lynch, was it true, was it not true? You know, why are our people in this predicament of not giving a fuck and, you know, cool with the killings and, you know, the shit that goes on. And obviously, you know, for somebody like Kanye, who is a billionaire now, right? Hov, like, he a billionaire. He a billionaire now. Salute him for that, for figuring it out financially and breaking down the walls and doing what he do. He do say some outlandish shit. Some people like, he do it to make you think, he doing it to gaslight. But let's talk about Nori. Let's bring him into the folds. Fuck with Nori. Obviously, the Drink Champs is it's a go-to platform nowadays for you to tune in to see who's on there. And they have a lot of great interviews on there. You know what I mean? I think they took over the Breakfast Clubs or the Vlads, if you ask me, like, just for the, you know, the content that they be having. He was bragging, like, you know what I mean? He was doing the numbers. And, you know, I think I seen the poster where he was like, we own the internet, we'll give it back. You know, obviously referencing, you know, how many views and how you know, exposure the interview got and the buzz that's behind it. So he like, pretty much we own it. A few days later, after the backlash, after the Juice Crew, like, yo, we not gonna have y'all, you know what I mean, talking outlandish, talking crazy about us Remove it now. Like, silence. Say no names. Like, do it now. And you got to come out and you got to apologize. So people was kind of clowning him, like, not the super thug, not this. And then you got to say, he do got a family to feed. Most people probably would apologize, just keep it moving. The thing is, I don't think Kanye should be silenced. I don't think Trump should have been silenced. Like, freedom of speech, right? You can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? And obviously, I know it's it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's caveats to these amendments and stuff like that. You just can't go and say anything. So I get it. Then you don't got to be on my platform that I created, etc. But I don't think nobody really should be silenced, but especially if they not going with the masses. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we all going with the masses, then you don't really need to silence nobody, because we all not critical thinking. We all just going along, like Kwame Brown said. We just going along to get along, and we to go along, get along game. And it's like, nah, you do need people to be like, oh, no, I'm not cool with this, or, you know what I mean, I oppose that, and this is the reason why. So he came out, he said what he said. Is it true, or do you disagree? Are you mad because it's true, or you feel it is true and you powerless? Or do you like, nah, this nigga's a total cool? And the thing is, first of all, like I said, when you bring it back to the I, because again, although the world's going to continue, whether you here or you're not, you still got to go back home to your domain, to where you live, where you lay in your head. Is that in order? Is your personal shit in order? So when you get these things in order, then you can venture out and say, now I want to try to do this. And you can try to do both, because it is a balance. But first you got to grab hold of self and say, what can you do to, aid, and so that it don't seem like 95% of the stuff that we do and how we control is by the other. You know what I mean? And Rome wasn't built overnight. So the first thing is to acknowledge, like, oh yeah, we are a little behind in this way, and we need to get better at that. And we need to get better at that, rapidly, at a rapid pace, full throttle forward, not lollygag, not bullshit, not make excuses. You know what I'm saying? Not make excuses. You see in the title I got, you know what I mean? Tuesday, and this is why I always say Transformation Tuesdays. What you working on, how you working it, and is it working for you? So should Nori have apologized? I want him to lose his job. Then it's like, we miss Drink Champ. So it's like, you can't have it both ways. He could have said, I would figure that, even though he is on the platform, which is supposed to be by Revolt, and that's supposed to be Diddy, but maybe it's not all Diddy. I didn't look in Google. Maybe that's why they had to take it down. And he was talking about Diddy too, so maybe he don't even really care. But the thing is, when you got your own platforms, Nick Cannon, because he was talking about those juice crews, and then he forgot he worked for white people, like Uncle Marissa had to get on and apologize too. And I seen something else where it's like, the black man is always apologizing, and it seems like that. You know what I mean? And that's because we don't have the infrastructure, with our own outlets. It is on these certain platforms. And then the thing is too, when you try to create your own, people is so programmed into being what everybody else is on. So it may take a little time. But I say, obviously, don't stop creating, don't stop building, don't stop trying to link up with other like-minded people that's doing this the same as you. You know what I mean? Trying to build and have it where you are self-sufficient, where you're not motherfucking depending on somebody to cut the lights off on you, cut your water off. You know what I mean? Let's talk about this last shit before we get into some translation Tuesday. Before we get into this last shit, I say I don't see nothing wrong with Nori apologizing. I did preference that to say it seemed like he apologized. He don't got his own platform. He is on a platform. He is getting played. He's an employee. Sure, he got his own ventures, but that's ultimately why he get in the bag. That's why he be like, yo, I created my own joint and spoke about the Illuminati and New World Order, go through this door, go through that door. So it's a lot of shit that's highly weird. So I'm not surprised. The thing is, are you going to employ him? You know what I mean? Are you going to do that at your job? So you realize it's like one thing to say, like, being locked or boycotting, which I had before, going on strike, not boycotting. And it's like, you're not going to go to the mess hall. Let's just, for an example, to draw the picture. You got food. If you ain't giving somebody that don't got food, you know what I mean, nothing to sustain themselves, how you going to be mad at them for going to the mess hall? Are you going to feed them? Are you gonna feed their family? Or, you know what I mean? When the lights go out, are you gonna let them come in your crib? So it's just we definitely not even at that point. You got own family members who don't want motherfuckers to come stay with them or kicking them out, shit like that. So definitely not at the point where it's like the same thing with the thing was with this is my show. We unscripted, we authentic. It's no set format. The shit with I was about to say Lisa Ray. The shit with Rachel Nichols from NBA. When they heard her talking and she was talking about she was talking about Maria Taylor, right? Who landed softly and she got a good spot over there with the games and shit, Monday Night Football, and with Rodney Harris and the coach. But anyway, she was like, yeah, I understand that they're trying to diversify. They want to, give people more jobs and all that, but find another spot. Like, she already doing this, she doing that, she doing this. Don't take my shit. You know what I mean? It's like, and I see nothing wrong with that because nobody is willingly giving up their shit, even the rich motherfuckers. Most of the time, that's how they stay rich. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, that's how they stay rich. They ain't just giving out wealth, and even when they giving to charity, that shit is a write-off. You getting that back on the back end, and I know because I did taxes for 5 years. So anytime you donate, you giving. I mean, even Mayor Adams, they like, you know what I mean? He donated $5,000, which is a lot of money if it really came out of his pocket. He a city worker. It ain't say what charities it was for. You know what I mean? Just different donations, different churches, and all that. And when like I said, I did taxes for 5 years. Ran my own site and all that. We tell the people that come in, even if you donated, put check donate. You know what I mean? Check donate. That's a given. Like, it's a donation, so you can get something. You know what I mean? It says that it's a write-off. Obviously, when you poor, you ain't really donating. I think that is the max. I think back when I was doing tax, probably was maybe like 3,000, or maybe it was 5 all the way until now. The point is, it's nothing when you don't have. They always reward the people who figured it out. If you ain't figured it out financially, the little loopholes and all that, whether it's tax, whether it's through corporations, LICs, what's the difference, and where you can put your money at, what life insurance to get and all that, they reward the people that have that information and that's using the information. They putting it to practice as opposed to the people who don't know shit. You're not going to get rewarded for being ignorant is bliss. You're not going to get rewarded at all. In fact, you're going to get, you know what I mean? We'll be raking you. You're going to get the Honda and we're going to put some rims on it. You're going to be all right. And you're going to come out in your own way. They're going to pretty much get you. Let's talk about this last shit, right? Let's talk about this dude who chopped his joint off, made the transition, went to Miami, supposed to be from New York. I don't know his real name, but the name he going by, Hennessy Margarita. You know what I mean? It was showing the before and after picture. And pretty much went through, did the surgery and all that, living his life, living his best life, doing what he wanted to do, right? The issue is he went to Miami, started dancing, stripping in the strip clubs and shit like that. Then started taking videos and posting, people that that he was with, intimately or whatever. You know what I mean? A few different men and shit. So people is coming out like, how you didn't know, and ooh. Let me get some of these pictures and shit. I think I got a good picture. So this the dude right here, Hennessy Margarita, native New Yorker or whatever. You know what I mean? Got the surgery, snippet, you know what I mean? Living his best life. And all that's fine and dandy, you know what I mean? Like, we only got one life to live. Live it, you know what I mean? How you live as long as you don't be hurting people or, causing people harm and all that. In this case, posting them, the people he was with, they didn't know. Now, you can say how they didn't know, why they didn't know, all those things is left up to speculation. You hear the red man's and the Superman lover. Yeah, you know what I mean? Where you put your hand between your, oh shit, this man. You know what I mean? And obviously there's stories like that. And this is even before the plastic surgeries, the BBLs, and all the shit to really, you know what I mean, make transition on them. Like, you know what I mean? Transformation Tuesdays, you motherfucking Bumblebee and Optimus Prime on them. You know what I mean? You motherfucking transforming. And, in a strip club, you drinking, you smoking, you is dark. So, again, there's no excuses, you know what I mean? As far as that. the thing is he obligated to tell people? And then, his rationale was no, that some of them he not intimate with, so why be upfront with it like that when he may not even be with them? And the thing is, you exposing, I guess some people was in relationships, so, you cheating, and it don't matter if it's trans or it's, it's another woman or whatever, you in violation of that, you know what I mean? So it's no sugarcoating that, whether he put you on blast or not. The thing is that morally, do you have to say something? You've seen people in cases, you've seen people in cases get killed. You know what I'm saying? Lose their life for not disclosing, not, being upfront. Especially if you still got it. Obviously, if he got the surgery. And I'm sure it's people that will accept, you know what I mean? So the thing, I never really understood the whole, I guess I really do, is like, you know what I mean? You want to deceive to, to prove that you can do it. You know what I mean? It's like, because you can find plenty of gentlemen who would partake in that type of activity if you was up front with them. You know what I mean? I'm sure they would, that's what they're looking for. There's plenty of sites and all this. It's a weird, freaky world. So whatever you're really into, you can find that. So what's the logic behind going behind, or not being up front? Then when somebody find out and they feel ultimately violated and they can't believe, like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, my own senses, I couldn't even tell. Plus you got the joint jizzy, so you can't tell. It's just it's like, oh shit, I'm ready to kill, like, you know what I mean? Damn, like you ready to do the most. And that's what one of the stripper ladies, is another dancer. What's a big story going on? You know what I mean? She was like, well, what if one of the clients do get mad? I'm working here too. They come back, do something crazy. And that's not out of the scope, you know what I mean? Because we seen people, disgruntled employees. We seen other people come, do all type of shit to people after they felt like they was done dirty. So, I definitely feel you should say something up front. You even see TikTok videos where certain individuals is playing with it, like you playing not only with yourself but with somebody else. So I think Little Duval, he was in the bad accident. He doing better now. Obviously, he been still active on Instagram even during the whole thing, putting up funny videos and shit. But he like in 2022, you know what I mean? It's not offensive for a man to ask a woman, are you really a woman? Are you a biological woman? It's 2022. You can't even be mad at that. You can't even be offended. And I get it, it's like, damn, how dare you? Like, motherfucker, you can't tell a real woman. And sometimes you can't. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't. Especially at a nightclub. Now, obviously, when you get past the initial meeting, going home with somebody and all that, that's a little different. And I'm still sure it happens. You know what I mean? Teddy Pendergraft, come on, go with me. Like, supposedly he on his best night with a transvestite, you know what I mean? Crashed and all that. And that's how he got in the wheelchair. Allegedly, maybe kind of, sort of. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, back then it wasn't, you may get a little breast job, but it wasn't the shit that it is now. Now you could go in and come out like sunshine. Shit is whole beautiful person. And, you got tutorials and whole videos where they actually show you doing that shit where it's all fast and they do that shit. When they finish, have you ever watched one of those videos? And I have, just for the sake of being entertained and seeing how this shit is done. I'm like, damn, this is the same motherfucker. Even women, they mad bumps and shit in their face. When they finish, bridge that nose, make their nose look straighter, do all that shit, you be like, wow, that shit is a whole fucking lie. And I'm being funny, but I'm not. No, I mean, it's obviously some women look beautiful. Their faces is beat well. That's the new term, right? Beat your face and all that. You know what I mean? But if women could do it, the men can do it too that want to be men. So the thing is, you can be fooled. And the thing is, you playing the dangerous game. And again, you don't have to, because there's people that'll accept you for that if you be up front with it. So I think it should be told, and I don't think it should be a problem with asking ladies, if you biological, you was born with ovaries and all that. You know what I mean? Like that shouldn't really be offensive to where you in a club and dude is trying to talk to you and he asks you that or whisper that in your ear. You know, just drink your drink like you don't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, of course, baby, you'll say whatever you're gonna say because nowadays we see what people is doing, and some people is doing it purposely. Try to catch you, try to trap you, try to fool you, try to show that you couldn't even tell. To prove women wrong too. You see them going back and forth with other women and y'all bitches want to be us. And then obviously with everybody looking the same, as far as doing their makeup the same, wearing their hair the same, wearing the same clothing. A lot of, you know, it is hard to tell. You know what I mean? Like, damn, is it a man? Is it a he? Is it a she? Is it a post? Is it not out? You know what I mean? Or is it a real natural woman? You know what I mean? Like, natural woman. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You already know what it is. We're going to cut this short. It's your boy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in to my show, Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.